Hello there, guys. It's Mr. Maximo here, Vinny Sandhu for the European Cricket Network with another match preview for a European Cricket Series match. And today I'm previewing match 9 coming out of the European Cricket Series Barcelona. It's the first match of day 3 of action on Wednesday, the 11th of November. Now, the first match here will start at 7:30 a.m. GMT. That's 8:30 in the morning Central European time, and it's 1 p.m. in India. And we're going to see Minhaj taking on Falco. And this game, of course, coming to you from that magnificent Montjuic ground in Spain, the former Olympic Baseball Stadium. And you can catch all the action on FanCode if you're living on the subcontinent. And if you're watching anywhere else in the world, you can catch it exclusively on SportsFlick. For a great deal, just head to sportsflickglobal.com. And just a reminder, if you don't already, why don't you follow us on social media? Because as I always say, there is so much happening in the world of European cricket. We're certainly enjoying this series. We're just about halfway into the first week of 2 weeks of action, and there's plenty more T10 cricket coming your way in the way of European Cricket Series action before the end of this year. So why don't you follow us at European Cricket? You can follow me at Mr. Maximo to get all the latest news. You can also head to our website, europeancricket.com. It's a great place to get all of the scorecards, fixtures, and of course the stats. And I'll leave the link in the description of this video if you want to check that out. And of course, we have articles going up every day. For every match preview video, I do an article which will go on that website, europeancricket.com. You can also download our European Cricket Network app in the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store, and finally our YouTube channel, ECN European Cricket Network. It's a great place to go to get all the highlights videos from the games, and of course watch these match preview videos. If you're enjoying it, please leave a like and a comment. I'll get back to as many as I can. Well, let's get down to business here. Wednesday, the 11th of November, the 11th of the 11th, and it's match day 3 there in Barcelona. You can see there's 10 match days, 4 matches every day, so 40 matches in total. We have 9 teams going head-to-head. They'll play in a round-robin format, so 8 preliminary matches for each team, and the top 4 will play finals. You can see here the 4 games on Wednesday, the 11th, start at 1 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and of course, they're 2-hour time slots because it is T10 cricket, so we're going to see matches 9 through 12 on Wednesday, and some very interesting contests indeed. Starting with match 9 between Minhaj and Falco, and we do have some likely lineups for you. Minhaj will be led by their captain Mohammad Nawaz, with Usman Mushtaq likely to take the gloves. He's taking over from Alumda Hussain, so I think they'll go to Usman. Alternatively, they might go to Kiza Ali. And for Falco, Cameron Raja, as usual, will lead them onto the field with Awais Ahmed, the Spanish national team wicketkeeper, to do the job with the gloves for Falco. Well, let's talk a little bit about these two teams. Well, Minhaj, they are quite accomplished domestically in Spain over the last couple of seasons, but they had a horror start to their first ever European Cricket Series on opening day. In fact, they posted only 46 in their first match against Pac I Care, and that included 6 ducks, with their top 3 all failing to score. And as a team in that match, they only hit 3 4s and absolutely no 6s. So I'm always sad if there's no Maximos. Now, they did have a much improved performance in their second match versus Catalunya CC. Of course, they're the champions of the previous series, and they performed a lot better in that game. They went down still in a close one. In fact, Minhaj needed 15 off the final over, but they could only manage 10, so they lost a close one, 113 to 109. So like I said, despite their inexperience in the ECS, they've been a phenomenally successful team in Spain over the last couple of years, and as national domestic champions, they qualified for ECL 20 last year, which was unfortunately cancelled due to COVID, of course, earlier this year, and they still will get the chance to play off for the right to play in ECL 21 later this month. So Minhaj, they've got a lot of potential, but often we see teams come into the European Cricket Series for the first time. They take a little bit of time to find their feet. Well, let's go to Falco, and of course they're the runners-up from the October series, where they went down to the Catalunya CC team. And Falco have had a mixed start to their November campaign. They won their first match against Barcelona Shaheen before losing both of their matches on day 2. And I tell you what, the last one was a right hiding at the hands of Pac I Care, who chased down their total of 89 within 5 overs and without losing a wicket. So in a sense, we've got a team on the rise versus a team on the slide in Minhaj versus Falco. So this will be a very interesting way to start day 3 in Barcelona. Let's head along to Mr. Maximo's 11 to watch, and hopefully you find this information useful, particularly if you are participating in some fantasy cricket. And today for Minhaj, I have super highlighted Mohamed Riaz. Now, he came into the side against Catalunya CC, and he top scored with 29 off 17 balls, including 3 Maximos, and he showed he had the power to put the ball over the ropes, and he also looked dangerous with the new ball, picking up 1 for 17 off his 2 overs. So I think he's a key inclusion for Minhaj. They certainly were short of big hitters in their first match, and I see Mohamed Riaz going from strength to strength as this tournament goes on. I've also highlighted some other players for Minhaj, including their captain, Mohamed Aftab Nawaz. Now, he came in to take over the reins on Tuesday, and he did make a huge difference. His 2 for 14 with the ball was crucial in keeping Catalunya CC down towards the end of their innings. I've also got some all-rounders in there. Kiza Ali, he previously played for Pak Montkana in the October series, and we saw him open the batting on Tuesday. He's also a chance to do the wicket keeping. They're still to decide their final option, I think, with Alumdar out. I've got Safraz Ahmed in there, who was their only shining light in the first match with a fight in 20, and he's also likely to take the new ball. Finally, I've got Dilshah Ahmed. He bowled a very good over late in the innings against Catalunya CC, taking 2 wickets for only 8 runs. For Falco today, I have super highlighted Kamran Raja, the captain, and he will probably bat 3 or 4 and open the bowling. And look, to be honest, I don't feel we've seen the best of him so far in the ECS. In fact, he's coming off a shocker of a game in which he went for a golden duck in his last innings and also went for 45 off his 2 overs with the ball. So you might go, Mr. Maximo, what are you doing super highlighting Kamran Raja? But I'm telling you, he is a good player, and I think he will bounce back. And so I do think that in this game, he'll be keen to put in an extra special performance and get his team back on the right track. So he could be on the cusp of a breakout performance, and once he's out of the bag, he could boss this competition. I've highlighted some other players for Falco. Always Ahmed, of course, the Spanish national team wicketkeeper batsman who will open the batting. And look, he hadn't had a very good start to the competition at all, but he kind of got going in patches in his last innings. He held the innings together, scoring 58 off 32 against Pak Care, getting them up to a respectable total. Now, remember, he was the leading run scorer across all teams in the October series, so we've seen that he's very capable of causing nightmares for opposition bowlers. I've also got some other players in there in a batting sense. Adil Sawa, who's been promoted into that key opening position. He's looked promising without going on with it. So perhaps this is the match that he might bat through the innings and make a really big score. I've got Rayman Ullah. I've been really impressed with him at times when he's been on song. He's a lovely straight hitter of the ball. I've got the magic man, Shabazz Ahmed. Now, this guy can do it all. He's the sort of player that can come in and hit boundaries straight away, as well as being a prolific wicket taker. And who could forget his 2 hat tricks back in the October series. And finally, in my 11 to watch today, I've got Mohammad Shiraz, the bowling option. He's likely to take the new ball. He's had some good performances, including 2 for 18 against the Kings. Now, today, if you are specifically playing some Dream 11 cricket, I do have a substitution because there's a points cap issue. Also, we need to get an extra bowler in there. So I suggest Akawa Javed for one of the all-rounders. I'll leave it up for you to decide, but that should fix that problem if you are playing some Dream 11 cricket. Well, let's get to prediction time. And like I said, it's a very interesting game, this one. It's a team on the rise versus a team on the slide. So the team on the rise is Minhaj, who had a shocking start to the tournament against Falco, who did very well in the October tournament to make the final, but they've had a bit of a lackluster start to this tournament. And after eking out a win in the first game, they lost their 2 on day 2 and losing the final game of day 2 quite dramatically. But I think this will be a very interesting contest. You see with Minhaj's inclusions on the Tuesday, they became a lot more competitive and had a bit more power with the bat. And as for Falco, well, in the middle of that innings against Pak Care on Tuesday evening, they had a shocking time of it. Batters 3 through 8 could only manage 1 run between them. So it was very hard to win matches when you have that kind of a collapse. But because they all got out reasonably quickly, it left them enough time to get to a respectable score. But it didn't look that respectable once Pak Care got going and overhauled the total with about 5 overs to spare. So I think this will be a very interesting one. And before that performance last night, I was kind of leaning towards Falco, although I did think it would be pretty even. But ultimately, I am predicting Minhaj to win this game. I think they're improving all the time, and their experience is invaluable in the European Cricket Series, and they're building it. And I think that they could mount a run, starting with this game, towards that top 4 and a place in the semi-finals. I've got Mohammad Riaz to be the star player, but certainly this will be a very interesting start to day 3. And of course, with the Indian Premier League finished, now you can concentrate all your cricketing attention on the European Cricket Series. And we have a week and a half left to go in Barcelona. So that is my match preview show for the day. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And like I said, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, ECN European Cricket Network, to keep up with all the action. Don't forget to have a look at SportsFlick, wherever you are around the world, sportsflickglobal.com. And of course, fan code in India if you want to catch this game, the first of 4. And there's 4 every day until Friday, coming to you from Barcelona. But no, this is Mr. Maximo, Vinny Sandhu for the European Cricket Network, saying enjoy the game. We'll see you next time on European Cricket.